Merry Christmas, everybody. Today I'll be using Fleet Street Pie Shop from 345 Soap Co. And I'll be talking about various Christmas origins. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, how's it going? John Bonham here, Cape Cod Wet Shaving. Merry Christmas, or the derivative of holiday that you celebrate at this time of year. All decked out, all that good stuff. I'm slowly amassing a collection of Christmas sweaters and stuff that I'll probably end up wearing here. I don't know, we'll see. But my favorite time of year, love it, love it, love it, love it. I absolutely love it. Coffee of the day, once again, Starbucks Holiday Blend. I cannot find Pete's Holiday Blend for some reason. I've looked on Amazon. It's like 40 bucks for a 12-ounce bag, something, 10 ounce. No. Nope, not doing that unless it's last resort. Anyhow, hope everyone's good. Another great day. Going to be a good shave today. Today I'll be using Fleet Street Pie Shop from 345 Soap Co. This is very unique. One sec. So the scent profile of this is Bergamot, Basil leaf, Oakmoss, Patchouli, apple, cinnamon, sugar, nutmeg, ginger. So I was talking to someone about a buddy of mine, Chad. How you doing, bud? And I had told him that it seems like a barbershop with pie added, and I would have preferred pie with barbershop added, if that makes sense. So it's not quite what I thought it would be at first, but it's kind of grown on me a little bit. I'll shave with it today. I'll tell you how everything blooms out. Out of the tub, you get the bergamot, you get the basil leaf, all that stuff, and there's a little bit of the hint of the apple and all that. I mean, there's apple, but like the pie aspect of it. The sugar and cinnamon and all that, not as much as I thought it would be. But we'll get to that in a second. I'm using Stirling Unscented pre-shave oil, beard oil, whatever. I'll be using the matching splash and balm for Pie Shop for post-shave. And I will be using my beautiful copper cont. Gift from Caleb. How you doing, Caleb? Thanks, buddy. Wonderful razor, man. It's my favorite. I think I'm going to use it the majority of this month, at the very least. And I'll be using Astra Green blades in that. I've been sticking to the Astras a lot lately. My brush today will be my Old Tiger from Chisel and Hound. Good brush. This is his V14 Fanchurian. Kind of matches, I guess. See if we can get that better. And whoops. Sorry, Gareth. Try to get my shave supply thing up to stay in one place. It does not want to stay. It's annoying. Alright, that's aggravating. Screw it. So Fanchurian, Chisel and Hound, and I'll be using this brown fine accoutrements bowl. This bowl, I want to give a shout out to someone who wished to remain anonymous. They sent me this bowl. They wanted to support my channel. They're a fan. You know who you are. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's an awesome bowl. It's really big. I like it. Fine makes some really good bowls. I have two large ones and two small ones of the fine bowls. They're remarkable. So, all right, let me get shaving, guys. 3.5 minutes. Instead of taking forever. You know what? Give me 1 sec. Alrighty. Fixed it. That was bothering the piss out of me. Because I have Ethan's Shave Mercantile. I got Jason Razor Company. Stirling. For my kids, Dad, you are my hero. My favorite mug. I like it so much that I actually don't use it that often. I'm afraid I'm going to drop it and break it or something. And Gareth's Shave Supply. Of course, I have his shirt. I should have worn the shirt, I guess. But anyway. Sorry. I'm hyper today. This is my second one of these today. It's about 12:30 p.m. I'm late getting to this, but it is what it is. All right. So let me get to going and lathering with this. Today's topic is going to be Christmas origins. So I threw in some things that happened on Christmas Day stuff at the very end. I try to generally avoid things that happened in history on this day, because that's more Scott. Shaving with peg leg. How you doing, Scott? That's more his forte. And I felt bad because, what was it, July 28th, I think it was. We both started doing history stuff. And his is he'll talk about what happened on that day. And I always felt bad that we started at the exact same time. It was crazy. So, but I did put a few snippets. But this is more kind of cool stuff about that originated with Christmas and why we do them. For instance, in a lot of this, I was like, holy crap, I didn't even think of that. I love that. Didn't think of it until I read it. And then you're like, wow. So what was the original Christmas? When did Christmas originate? Well, birth of Jesus, right? No. Before, way before, actually. So, the original Christmas, most historians agree that most modern Christmas traditions originated from something called Saturnalia. All right? The paper's starting to curl on me. Man, hold on 1 second again. Aggravating as hell. Sorry about that. I'm sitting there I have the paper here on the mirror and it's starting to curl, so I'm craning my neck trying to read it. Can't have that through the whole video. So, figure what the hell, I'll just stop. Look at that. Alright, so Saturnalia was a Roman holiday, okay? What they did was, it was held in mid-December during the winter solstice. It paid homage to Saturn, the god of time and agriculture. All right, everyone, including the slaves, mind you, everyone, including the slaves, would take a week off and partake in vigorous partying, and they celebrated and would decorate their homes with pine wreaths. They also attended parties, feasts, and exchanged gifts and offerings. All right. So wreaths and decorations began technically with Saturnalia. Oh, now imagine a week-long Christmas. All right. You just saw that photo. I'll pop it up again. What I'm probably going to do, because I got a photo for every topic here, and a couple of them I have 2 photos. So I'm not going to move. I'm just going to talk about it, and then I'm just going to pop the photo over my face. That'll make it easier, I think. But there's Saturnalia in a nutshell, all right? I have to add some more water here. So the interesting thing is eventually Romans adopted Christianity. Now, when they adopted Christianity, obviously, Christmas took precedence over Saturnalia. But being as how Saturnalia was already in mid-December, that's why they think Christmas is celebrated in December. Now, I wasn't going to put this on here. I thought it might be too much of a taboo topic, talking religion. But it is technically a fact. So, most historians, one of the questions I was going to put on here was Jesus' birthday December 25th? Technically, really, most people would agree no, who've done their homework. And the reason being is that in the Bible, it's actually kind of hinted at that Jesus' birthday was in spring. There's parts of the Bible where there's shepherds tending their flock, that kind of thing. That wouldn't be happening in the height of winter. So they think it's December 25th was decided upon because of the Saturnalia thing. So I'm not trying to offend anybody. Hopefully I haven't. Talking about Jesus and trying to say his birthday is not December 25th. Honestly, Jesus' birthday wasn't even talked about until centuries after Christianity was even founded. So the topic of his birth was not discussed or really, I mean, is viewed as unimportant. So there's that too. All right. But I found that interesting. Obviously, there had to be a first Christmas. But if you want to be technical about it, because Halloween, a lot of people don't celebrate Halloween due to the paganist roots. But Saturnalia, technically, was kind of the same. It was worship of a deity that predated Christianity. All right. If it were the Greeks, it'd be called Chronosalia. Anywho, why did Charles Dickens write A Christmas Carol? I love this one. I love it. It is awesome. Because I didn't know. Which is technically the point of these, isn't it? So, Charles Dickens wrote, he published it in 1843. All right? Now, he wrote the book. This is going to sound silly. He wrote A Christmas Carol, and he had hoped for a hit. He spent a ton of his own money touring around America to promote the book in 1842. The goal, obviously, was to support his family. But he went out of his way to tour, which really wasn't a widespread thing back then because it was, you didn't have the publishers paying for this tour, it was you. So his book was a hit. It ended up being a hit, and his tour worked. It sold 6,000 copies in 1 week. Doesn't sound like a lot, but keep in mind, bookmaking and all that back in the day was a bigger affair than it is today. But 6,000 was the complete first print. So the absolute first edition sold out in a week. And he wrote it because he wanted to change Victorian society. So due to the plight of Bob Cratchit and Tiny Tim, he hoped to, and these are quotes directly from him, he hoped to open the hearts of the prosperous and powerful towards the poor and the powerless. And if you can believe it, he succeeded. Because the poor and the destitute, all of a sudden, around the holidays at least, received a lot more aid and assistance than they otherwise had. So from what I can tell, from what I looked up and read, his book, the reason it was written to begin with, succeeded in its purpose. To bring attention to the poor from the powerful. Which makes sense if you look at Ebenezer, who turned a blind eye to all that had nothing to do with him and forgot what it was like to be human. And some would say with capitalism in some regards, it's kind of like that again. I mean, it's just, it is what it is in a democracy and a capitalist society. I mean, that's money's money. And holidays are the biggest money maker. It's just cool. I think that's why it's succeeded and remained throughout the ages. Is just the wonderful message and just how much you can relate to it. But it's really cool that he wrote it, not just for the money, but to transform society, which he ended up doing. And it's a lesson that continues on to today. So, very cool. All right. So, what is a Yule log? Now this, for those who have seen National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, for whatever reason, when I came across this one, I immediately thought of the part where Clark is in a department store, stumbling over his words because of the pretty girl at the counter. He's like, Yule log. Not a log. I don't have a log. You know what I mean? Can't see the line, can you, Russ? Nope. And he's like, I love that movie. For whatever reason, that's where my mind went. Not a log. But then I read that. I'm like, what the hell is a Yule log? Well, Lucky you, I'm about to tell you. A Yule log, it began as a tradition during the Iron Age. Okay? So this is an old one. Not the Bronze Age, Iron Age. Not that old. So, it began as pagan, burning huge logs to ring in the new year during the Iron Age, okay? Pretty simple, right? Well, no. So, over the centuries, it evolved into a Christmas dessert made of sponge cake and whipped cream. Poof. Here's a picture. Okay? At the end of December, Celtic and Gaelic peoples decorated a large log with holly, pine cones, and a splash of wine. They burned it to begin the new year. The dessert itself began as far back as the 1600s, when they started doing it more ritual, or not ritual, doing it more symbolic with the dessert. And here's a picture, a recreation. I'll move for that one. This is a recreation of an actual Yule log. I don't know if they actually put candles on it or whatever, but there you go. So that is a Yule log. All right. Let me pause here, flip this over, and I'm going to talk about the soap and the set. So, my first impressions are sometimes more critical, and then I give the product time, and I ended up coming to like it. If you can believe this, there was once a point where I did not like sandalwood. I didn't like Proraso Red. I didn't really have a lot of sandalwood at the time. But believe it or not, I bought a sandalwood comb from Cremo, a beard comb, made of sandalwood. And it smelled so good, still does. Sandalwood can hold the wood itself can hold its scent for decades. So, I got more into it. The reason I bring this up is because I told a couple people that I wasn't a fan of this soap. And that's one promise I made to someone, you know who you are, that I would be more critical, because I'm always nice. I always try not to be too rude or mean or anything. So I was told that I should try to be a little bit more critical. Or a little more honest, at least. If I'm critical, not to be critical to go out of my way, but to be honest about if I do not like something. So this one I had said, I wished it had more of the pie in it. But when it blooms, you can smell it a lot more. It is going to be Barbershop throughout. So it is a Barbershop with a scent added, which is fine. Because I love barbershops and I love a new take on a barbershop. So basically just what built up in my head versus what was realistic, what it was, which is not the fault of the artisan at all. But if you are thinking about getting this, you have to like barbershops. Because you're going to get the Oakmoss, you're going to get the Bergamot, whatever, throughout. There is apple. The apple's definitely there. The cinnamon and sugar and ginger and all that is not as potent. So it will literally be a barbershop with pie added. Not a pie with barbershop added, if that makes sense. But I like it. And they say you can't like everything, which is true. There's a couple of musty soaps that I've gotten that are made to be musty that I don't like. But for the most part, I'm really not picky. I mean, I like Arco, for crying out loud. I love the scent of Arco. I love the scent of the Derby soap, which is close to Arco. So, I'm not terribly picky, I guess. So, anywho. All right, this one's awesome. Oh, so, sorry, to wrap this up, I'll talk about it more with the post-shave. I'm just going to do skin food here. Let it sit, and then I'm going to rinse it off. Once it blooms, you definitely get apple. You get some of the pie. Just in my opinion, I wish the sweet pie part of it was a little stronger. That's all. Not a bad soap. If someone said, hey, do you recommend it? I would say, honestly, yeah. I would. Because it's a different take on a barbershop. And a pretty decent one. And one thing I've said before too is apple. I'm very picky of apple. Straight up, I'm not getting banana. I passed on Southern Witchcraft's banana. There's a couple other banana ones I've seen. Hoffman, he's coming out with a banana one. That's the first Hoffman's I've seen him come out with, and I might just get it just to have the whole collection, but I'm not a banana guy. But anyway, all right, let this sit for a sec. Go ahead and get the mustache. So, how did the Santa tracker come to be, you ask? Interesting question. One that I didn't think of. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I was born in 82. I grew up in the 80s, early 90s. I was a kid. I don't recall a Santa tracker. I'm sure there was one, but for whatever reason, my brain just won't tell me there was. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, this came around late 90s, early 2000s. No. The Santa tracker came about in 1955. It began. So this is awesome. Here's a Sears ad, okay? Boom. A wrong number call to NORAD began the Santa Claus tracker because of this ad right here. Okay? In 1955, during the height of the Cold War, get rid of that, a general at what was called CONAD at the time, okay? The Continental Air Defense Command. That was the precursor to NORAD, which is the North American North American Air Defense Command. Something. Okay. Yeah. So wrong number. There's a general in Colorado, a general at CONAD in Colorado received a call on a top secret phone. Okay. Instead of an official at the end of the line, he's thinking it's the worst because this is a red phone. It's never supposed to ring unless there's like an incoming missile strike or something bad's happening. So this general answered the phone, was like, oh shit, excuse my French, was like, talk to me, what's going on? And on the other end of the line, instead of a gruff official or the president or whoever, a little boy's voice shakily said, are you the real Santa Claus? And the general's like, what? So it was a little boy who accidentally called. So that ad I showed you was an advertisement for a Sears hotline, a Santa hotline. And Sears put the wrong number. They ended up putting this number to this top secret red phone in technically a NORAD installation in Colorado. So it was renamed NORAD in 1958. And from that moment on, it took the role of the Santa tracker because NORAD had this massive web of satellites orbiting Earth. And so they used their network of satellites to begin the Santa tracker. So today, every Christmas Eve, there's roughly every year around 1,500 NORAD employees and volunteers that man phones and things of that nature for Christmas to keep track of Santa for kids all around the world. Pretty cool. Think about that. Isn't that neat? Like, that's pretty awesome, in my opinion. Let me rinse this off. I'll be right back with you. Alrighty. Oh, doesn't taste good. Not awful. Not terrible. If you can believe this, I get more of the pie and the taste of it. Not insulting it. I don't mean to sound like I'm insulting it. It's just, Trying to be honest. Another thing, if someone asks me would I use it again, yes. Would I keep it? Absolutely. I like it enough that I will use it. So it's not that I dislike it to the point that I want to piff it or not use it anymore. It's a good soap. Just be mindful that you won't get as much pie. That's all. Alrighty. So why do we kiss under the mistletoe? That's something I asked about before. Because I was one of those kids in school that I'd ask my teacher stuff and they'd pull their face off. Just like, can you please just stop asking these questions? It's like, I thought we were supposed to be inquisitive in school. When we were asking about the planet Neptune, I asked you a math problem. Well, what do you want? At least I'm asking. So I asked that. I said, ooh, losing a mustache here. I said, who decided that the Christmas bush, the poinsettia, should be a very fragile, very temperamental tropical plant? I don't know. That was a silly one in my opinion. And mistletoe, horribly poisonous, by the way. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah. Never. I did say that to my wife one time. I'm like, why would you pick mistletoe? It's a parasite. It's parasitic, and it's horribly poisonous. Well, here's why. The tradition has its clearest connection with Norse mythology. Frigg, the goddess of love, promised to kiss any creature that passed beneath the evergreen sprig after it was used to revive her son Balder. Interesting side note, she herself is the one who killed Balder, but that's for another story, man. She really punished him too. The Celtic Druids also saw it as a sacred symbol of vivacity, as it blooms in winter. All right. So it was actually the modern tradition of kissing under the mistletoe. The tradition we know now started in England. Okay. But back in the day, if you can believe this, it was prescribed for fertility. So to be vivacious, here's this very parasitic, ridiculously poisonous plant. But there you have it. It began in response to a Norse goddess making a promise after she herself punished her son Balder. Man, she did some mean stuff to that dude. My history's so good. All right. Oh, I gotta wrap this up. Why do we kiss under mistletoe? Da, da, da. By the way, wasn't that picture cute? The little boy kissing the baby. There's a lot of pictures, obviously, I picked, but I like that one the most. It jumped out at me. So, when did Americans start decorating Christmas trees? This is a good one. I'll end it as quickly as I can. Might be a little over 30. Due to puritanical American preachers and the fear of paganism, there's that again. Americans did not embrace the tradition, if you can believe this, until the 1890s. Okay? That's way later than I would have guessed. I had guessed like early 1800s. The first Christmas trees were not brought indoors until the mid-1600s by German Christians. Now, keep in mind, I said Americans started decorating. So we were way late to the party. German Christians started mid-1600s. Rumor has it, and I say rumor, but I think it's pretty historically known, Martin Luther, who passed away in the 1540s, if I remember correctly, 1560s, 1500s. He was a German preacher. Martin Luther was credited with placing the first burning candles in a Christmas tree to mimic the sparkling stars. So that's why we have Christmas lights. All right? Is to mimic the stars in the sky. So here's this photo. I like this one. Very cool. Just a beautiful tree out in the middle of nowhere. Very pretty. If there's a personal heaven, that's what mine would look like. Get to roam around a snowy hillside, not be cold, and it's Christmas all the time. Very cool. Anyone ever seen What Dreams May Come? That'd be awesome if it were that way, wouldn't it? All right. So to wrap it up, here are some random things that happen on Christmas facts. All right, you ready? These are things that happened on Christmas that were significant that I bet you didn't know happened on Christmas. Charlemagne is crowned Holy Roman Emperor in 800 AD. The crazy thing about Charlemagne is that mathematically scientists say that everyone on Earth is in some way, shape, or form related to him. Didn't know if you knew that. Because it was so long ago, statistically and mathematically, we're all related to Charlemagne. So he's your great 20,000 times great uncle, whatever. But he was crowned Holy Roman Emperor 800 AD, Christmas Day. All right, George Washington, I didn't know this one, crossed the Delaware on Christmas Day in 1776. I did not know that. He crossed the Delaware to launch an attack. He ended up in Jersey. I think it was Trenton. I should have written this down. Man, I should know that. He crossed the Delaware to launch a surprise attack, and I believe it was in Trenton. The Treaty of Ghent ends the War of 1812. So the War of 1812, the Treaty of Ghent was signed on Christmas Day to end that. And Andrew Johnson, this one's interesting, issues a pardon to all Confederate soldiers on Christmas Day. And the reason he did that is because he said, and most agreed with him, that if President Lincoln were still alive, he would have done the exact same thing, possibly even on the same day. So I thought that was pretty badass. All right, everyone. I just realized that I did not do my post-shave. I will do that real quick. I was off to a good start and it ran longer, like always, but that's okay. Splash smells really good. Ooh, yeah. You're going to get more. Okay. You get more of the sweet stuff in the splash. Should have known by now. Ooh, that splash is really good. Wow. Whew. That's good. John Patton just posted something on Facebook. Go figure. John Patton of 345, of all people. Splash is good. Balances very well. There's more sweetness in the splash, which I love when you balance out the stuff like that. One's weak and the other one's strong in the balance. And the balm. Hope everyone enjoyed this one. I'm a little behind. I'm kind of doing sporadic. I don't mean to. Get the pump going. There we go. There's the balm. I did join the 345 subscription. There's a barbershop called Barbera Maduro. It's a tobacco barbershop. That is an exclusive to those who join it. And other perks that I can't talk about. I'm not allowed to. Very hush hush. But I'm interested to see how that'll go. And the subscription is closed until May of 2023, unfortunately. So I was really last in line. So we'll see how that goes. But I'll be having hopefully some 345 soaps that you can only get if you're a member that I might use on here. So that's exciting. All right, guys. And gals, whoever watch this. Great shave. Good stuff. Hopefully the background got you in the Christmas spirit a little. This is dropped now. Wonderful razor. I can't recommend it enough. Remember, $100 just for the razor, $35 for the stand, $125 for the combo. AilsworthRazors.com and the razor company. Do not forget to use Cape John so I get hooked up for sending you. Use Cape John all caps at checkout on the razor company. It's my affiliate code. Thank you. And that'll do it, everyone. One last drink. I also this morning had fun making a reel. I don't think it came out as well as I had hoped. It was different in here, better quality, but whatever. It's only my second time making a reel. And I just got permission from Instagram to get paid for making reels. So I'm going to post one today, I think. And it was me checking my mail call. I decided not to talk about it on it here. So But I did get a mail call. I got some good stuff. All right, everyone. Thank you. Appreciate it, especially if you watch to the end. Returning viewers, you know exactly who you are. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I was just talking to someone yesterday, and they said they like my content. I said, thank you. But I also said, the reason I do it is for what people say to me. It's a lot of work doing this stuff and researching and all that, but it literally puts me in a good mood for the rest of the day when I get people commenting saying how much they liked it. And, you know, I actually have people send me stuff like, hey, you should do this for a topic, which is awesome. But thank you, everyone. You know who you are. And if you came across this by sheer chance, please like and subscribe it. I know my videos are a little long. I try to do one a week. I'm generally pretty good about sticking to that, but because of the holidays and all that, and I have some other stuff going on that I will talk about here in a few weeks. But yeah, that's why. So thanks again. Merry Christmas, everybody. Y'all be safe if you travel anywhere. Be careful. Enjoy each other's company. Make some good memories out there. Memories are going to, you know, it's going to be what we have one day. Make them good. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. You know, whatever your holiday of choice may be for this time of year. Take care. Happy shaving. Till next time. Take it easy.